In this video, we're going to be talking about the tragic murder of Ahmaud Arbery by two God, I don't even know what to call them. Two racist people. Essentially, they lynched him. And first of all, if we look at the actual definition of a lynching, is a group of people who kill someone for an alleged offence without a trial, especially by hanging. So in this case, they shot him. And so if we could jump to this article here. This is Ahmaud Arbery here. It's a picture of him. A father and a son have been arrested in the state of Georgia for the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, an unarmed black man. Gregory McMichael, age 64, and Travis McMichael, age 34, were detained on Thursday by the Bureau of Investigation. Both were charged with murder and aggravated assault. So Mr. Arbery was, he's only 25, he was jogging. This was in February, by the way, and they were only just arrested. These two were only just arrested on the 8th, I believe. And that's purely because there was a massive conflict of interest with the dad, I believe, being a former police officer. And so there was a massive conflict of interest within the prosecutors. And so if we jump to here, so Mr. Arbery was out running in the coastal city of Brunswick early in the afternoon when Gregory McMichael told the police he saw Arbery and believed he resembled the suspect in a series of break-ins. And so I assumed that he saw Arbery as a black guy, another black guy must have robbed something. They must be the same person. Why is he running? He must be running from someone because he's robbed him. That's what these guys, that's what the thought process must have been. So Mr. McMichael and his son armed themselves with a pistol and a shotgun, pursued Mr. Arbery in a pickup truck. This is Gregory McMichael's side of the story, and we'll get to, why it seems like he's lying. Told the police that he and his son said, stop, we want to talk to you, and claims Mr. Arbery then attacked his son. So video footage of the incident appears to show Travis McMichael firing a gun. The video here has been removed for rights reasons, which is really abhorrent. Like, why someone owns the rights to a video of someone's murder is just stupid. At the end I'll show the video footage of it. That comes with the trigger warning, of course. This is a horrible thing to see. The 36-second clip was shot from a vehicle following the pickup truck. And so there's a number of calls were made to police at the time of the confrontation. According to CBS News report, in one 911 call, a neighbour said a black man was seen at a home under construction. When asked what the man was doing now, he said running down the street. So his only crime was potentially trespassing, which isn't that big a crime in America. Mr. Arbery is seen jogging, approaching the pickup from behind. He then tries to bypass the truck, so this guy is not looking for a fight. And then is seen struggling with a man carrying a shotgun believed to be Travis McMichael. There is muffled shouting and shotgun shots. So he tried to avoid them. They got into a scuffle with him by the looks of things. And the family was saying he was lynched before their very eyes. The family were told that the son, Ahmaud, was stealing stuff, but we know he wasn't. And so because all this, he's just running to look after himself. Asked by the suggestion that he could have been implicated in a burglary, Mr. Arbery, I think it's the father, said it's just a lie and a cover-up. The video speaks for itself, which it does. Check that lynch mob out, which they did. It was a lynching. So we've had several people, including LeBron James, he put out a tweet. Mr. Biden said Mr. Arbery been shot in cold blood and essentially lynched before our very eyes. And so if we jump to this article from CNN, and we'll break down this video in a minute as well. So the homeowner under the person who actually owned the home in Georgia where Ahmaud Arbery was killed said he had reported no crime after surveillance video showed the young man on the property. So February captured moments before Arbery's death show him looking around but never touching anything. So he just went to check out this place under construction, which is something I've never done, but I always wanted to do it, I guess, just see what's going on. And so he committed no major crime. Trespassing, no major crime in most countries. Definitely not leading to a death sentence, as he was. By the time Mr. Larry saw the video, this is the homeowner, Mr. Arbery had been killed. And so if we go down, it was the actual video that propelled the case. So it was another video that helped turn the case into national news 2 months later after Arbery's death, drove thousands to the street in protest. So the 36-second video seems to show the killing was captured by William Roddy Bryan. Bryan's attorney, Kevin Koch, said he was just a bystander, he was just filming, he had no relation to the assailants. When asked why he didn't call 911, Koch said he didn't have an immediate response other than to note that the police sirens were almost immediately audible. So he's saying that the police were around, he heard sirens, and that the police were en route. This is about, you know, Ahmaud Arbery, a man of his principles, a good guy. He would check in on people, you know, just call them to see how they're doing and things like that. He sounds like an all-round decent guy, to be honest, and it's sad he was killed. And so what we know about the killing, so his autopsy show deep gaping shotgun graze to the right of his wrist as well as his upper left chest. So this guy, the dad he was shooting to kill. 13 shotgun pellets exited Aubrey's back, 11 more were recovered from his wounds. You know, the argument that they were shooting in self-defense is just a myth. You know, a fourth prosecutor signed the case, purely because the police didn't want to pursue this because the dad, I believe, was a former police officer. Mr. Greg McMichael worked for her force. This is Judicial Circuit Attorney Jackie Johnson. So she had to recuse herself. Johnson advised State Attorney Chris Carr to appoint Waycross Judicial Circuit Attorney George Barnhill, even though days earlier Barnhill had told police he did not see grounds for the arrest of any individual involved in Mr. Arbery's case. So I don't know if Johnson had seen the video, but if he had and he said this, that's pretty bad. And after picking up the case, Barnhill wrote in an open letter, 2nd of April, it appears their intent was to stop and hold the criminal suspect until law enforcement had arrived. Under Georgia law, that's perfectly legal. Less than a week later, Barnhill wrote that his son, George McMichael, had helped with an earlier prosecution of Arbery when both worked for Brunswick Judicial District Attorney's Office. He also recused himself, so Barnhill had to recuse himself. A third case... the case went to a third prosecutor, Atlantic Judicial Circuit District Attorney Tom Durden, who said he had neither previous knowledge of the incident or any relationship with the investigators or witnesses, but Durden was asked to step down and the case was reassigned to Cobb District Attorney Joy Holmes Carr. People have strange names. So it's been tossed about quite a lot. Obviously this happened in February and now it's April, May even, and he only just got arrested in May, so about 2 months later. So if we jump to some of the videos here, so 120, around the 120 mark, we'll be able to see him inside the house.
The arrest of the McMichaels, rather. And what this video shows is Ahmaud Arbery on the day that
video from CNN.
He died inside of a house under construction. It's surveillance video. You see it briefly. He walks around a bit and then he goes out and continues his run through the neighborhood. He doesn't take anything. Of a house under construction. It's surveillance video. You see it briefly. He walks around a bit and then he goes out and continues his run through the neighborhood. He doesn't take anything, and the most trouble he would be in would be, I guess, for trespassing. That is not a felony offense, and it would not justify the citizen's arrest law or hot pursuit being applied in this particular case. So
we can see that he was just trespassing, and that's no major crime. It would not have led to a citizen's arrest or a warrant. This is the lawyer of the person who actually filmed the shooting. So if we go to there.
He was trailing behind, or he was trying to get up close?
So he's talking about the person taking the video.
To get a really good...
Well, he certainly wanted to get as good a picture as he could. You would have to meet him, and that's difficult in these situations. This is not Rambo. This is not somebody who's going to knowingly put himself in harm's way.
And so what the guy who filmed it is claiming that, I just saw them in hot pursuit, so I think I've got it lined up.
And then, Martin, with your opportunity to talk to the attorney there, did the attorney explain or respond to, why would his client be videotaping anyway, if not for the fact that he was expecting to capture something on video?
Right. And we did have this conversation. Essentially, he believed what he saw was he was standing in his yard and he saw the young man being pursued. And he thought perhaps this was some sort of criminal activity he was witnessing, and he wanted to get a picture of Ahmaud, he says, in case he got away and they were able to show to authorities who the person was. Again, he claims that this was all being an observer, not being a participant, but that is hard to fathom given that explanation.
So what we can gather from that is the fact that the guy actually filming, luckily he filmed it, but he was filming it because he believed Ahmaud Arbery was a criminal and he wanted to get a picture of him so then they could identify him. And so we're lucky that he actually took a video, even if his motives were wrong, purely because this case would have been dropped. They would have said Ahmaud Arbery was a criminal, he was, trespassing, stealing things, and that they were right to pursue and essentially kill him. That he was, they acted in self-defense. But if we actually watch the video, if we go from here, and so, this is the final trigger warning I'm going to give because it's grim. That's the play button.
An official in Georgia is... Arbery back in February when the suspects in their truck
And so you can see he tried to avoid him. And what happened was
chased him down,
that, you know, they forced him into a scuffle essentially. And
then
then,
shot and killed him.
you know, the dad loads up the shotgun and
claimed Arbery looked like a suspect in a series of recent break-ins, despite no robberies or break-ins being reported in the area.
so it's just
CNN's
like
Martin
he's just on his run.
Savage joins me with more on this now. So, despite no robberies or break-ins being reported in the area, CNN's Martin Savage joins me.
And so it's just a sad situation that, you know, these two idiots felt they had the right to, you know, drive up, do a citizen's arrest on someone who they thought was a criminal who wasn't, who then created a situation where a guy felt he had the need to either run or fight back, and he did, which I think most people would do in that situation. You're either going to run or fight. You know, you're not going to be able to talk to these two hillbillies essentially because they weren't out for a conversation. They were out to arrest or kill a guy, and they killed him. And so it's a sad thing to happen. And so yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. You know, especially about the circus around, you know, just getting a prosecutor to deal with this, all the conflicts of interest and all those things. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.